So, how does science work? Science works really by the use of the scientific method. It's how we advance the knowledge of the way the world works, the way the world comes together. Now, when we're talking about the scientific method, the key operation in science is observation. You see it right up here, observation. The key operation in science is observation. That what you are doing is you are observing the world around you. You see the shiny light behind my head that is now reflecting off of my baldness and may or may not actually blind you. You might even come up with some ideas about what I might be able to do to change that. But the key operation in science is looking around. What we do is we look to see what happened. We look to see what's going on. Why did that plant grow? Why did the saber-toothed tiger chase me? Why is my dog acting like that? Why does the cat keep bringing me mice? Etc. We look to see what happened. Now, the thing about science is a shared endeavor. So when we look to see what happened or why something is happening in the natural world, we then try to put it in mutually understandable terms. In other words, I try to talk about it in a way that everybody else can easily understand. And in terms of doing that, we often refer to using the same names for different animals despite speaking different languages. We use this in terms of using the same system of measurement, which is why in biology we always use the metric system instead of the English system. We talk about centimeters instead of inches. This is an exercise for you. I want to write down what you see. Right now, take a moment and write down 5 things you notice about the person in this picture. Go ahead and pause the video so you can get a good look at this person, and then go ahead and write that down on the card that you see. After we've made an observation, we ask why. So we observe that our friend is running down the sidewalk at high speed. We wonder why they are running down the sidewalk at high speed. And we begin to make inferences. We think maybe he's being chased by his big brother because he broke one of his big brother's toys. We think maybe he's being chased by his mama because he got caught and she is going to get him and tan his hide. We see him running down the street and we think maybe they're chasing after a lost puppy or they're trying to catch up with a friend. We see our friend running down the street and then we notice that he just passed that scary house that nobody's lived in for the last 10 years and everybody says is haunted by old Mr. Jefferson. We make our inferences, why is he running down the street, based on our past experience, our expectations, what other people say, what the end is on the internet. It's just an inference. It's just a, hey, maybe this is why. Now, the way that we go from an inference to a hypothesis is we add some research. We observe something, we make an inference, hey, maybe this is why it happened. And then we start looking at the scientific literature to figure out whether or not we're correct. We're correct. And the way that we do that is not just by going online and looking at about.com or looking in Wikipedia, but that we look to reputable online journals. The American Medical Association, Journal of American Medical Association, the Journal of Child Psychology, that we look at these educational, these scholarly sorts of magazines. We look at textbooks. We go to university websites or educational websites like pbs.org, or we go to a website that ends in edu, but not Prager edu, just to be clear. That we look for something that is associated with a major university, such as Norfolk State, or Howard, or the University of Wisconsin, or the University of Illinois in Chicago. As we look at these things, we research the particular topic that we're wondering about. As we continue to do this, we are able to move from just an inference into a real hypothesis about what we are learning. So, we start with observation, we make an inference or a guess as to why it happened, we add research to that, and then it becomes a hypothesis.